Hey everyone, this is Phil Wilt, President and Chief Operating Officer. I'm joined by Mark from Strategos. Welcome to ACT. Mark works for a company that does training and consulting around safety. And so today we want to talk to you a little about what to do to help keep yourself safe when you're out on the road. And I know that our drivers get into lots of different situations, Mark, and so I'm hoping that you can help us kind of maybe think through the ways to best maneuver through these situations. You know, we're a family-owned company. We care a lot about our drivers. We want our drivers to return home to their families. And I think unfortunately we live in a world today where bad things can happen, and you really have to really be mindful of your settings and those types of things. So the first thing I would ask you is, I know we have a lot of drivers that are getting back in their trucks late at night. They're at a roadside stop, they're at a truck stop, and those places can be a little tough. And so I guess my question is if someone feels someone coming up to them, they feel like they're coming up in their space, what is your advice about what to do to protect yourself?
That's a great question, Phil. Obviously, awareness is the first and foremost that we have to have. If we're not even aware of our surroundings, we're going to get caught off guard, and they're going to be up there on us before we even have a chance to recognize that potential problem. So once we're aware, we see that coming, we're looking for body language. Bad behavior is going to be preceded by bad body language. If you ever have the feeling something is not right, it's probably not right. You have to trust that inner voice. We don't have time to go into all the different aspects of what to look for in that body language. The third thing that I would say is, as it relates to that, is we really want to have a good high quality flashlight. When that person's approaching and we feel that there's bad intentions there, a good flashlight put in somebody's eyes, shined in somebody's eyes, many times will make them stop or pause. By nature, we have to rely on our vision to be able to see. So when you can deny that little bit, it may change their channel before they want to take that further. That also gives you time to ask them a question. Hey, how's it going? And if they complain about the light and the conversation goes on a little more smoothly and you start to feel a little more comfortable, they have a legitimate reason to approach you, then we can go from there. But if it has another effect where maybe they become more irate, it buys you time possibly to get into your vehicle, which is kind of your safety zone.
That is a great tip. So think about that as you're going in and out of these different, to have that flashlight with you to really take care of yourself. You know, the other thing that I see that's happened to our drivers is that first of all, they have really big hearts, and I think when they see people that are driving so many miles, they see people, motorists that are out stranded alongside the road. The problem is sometimes those are setups. Sometimes they are staging something to then jump the driver. So I guess I would say is, what is your advice to help a driver think about that? I mean, it's balancing the fact of being caring, but also protecting yourself with that. So what would you say to our drivers about that?
You know, obviously as drivers, you guys spend your lives on the road. You've been broken down. You know what it's like to be in that position. So when you see that, you're empathetic to that person. Many times these setups are going to make it really look like it's that woman that's out there, she's really in trouble, and that natural instinct to be protective and empathetic is going to kick in. Some of the things you want to watch is obviously what is the surroundings. Is there someone that could be hiding nearby that would allow you to, when you walk up, to help that person, that lets them get the jump on you? So obviously just one, what are the surroundings in the area? Second, one of the things that I really like to tell people is, look, that vehicle, your vehicle, represents a good safe zone for you. And when we work with other people, we have 3 outs: lock out, get out, and take out. That cab affords you the ability to lock out, and then if the situation it deteriorates, to use that vehicle to get out. As a last resort, then obviously you would have to take out or fight. So we don't want you to be in that position. You win 1,000% of the fights you never put yourself into. However, if you just stay in the vehicle, let that person approach you that you're wanting to help, you're keeping yourself in a safer area. You're in that big, tall truck. They've got a more difficult time getting to you. But what it really lets you do is also start asking, so what happened? What do you need help with? Because they may not be expecting that. One, you change their plan. They're now having to come to you. And two, if you're going to help them and they truly need it, they're going to be able to tell you what went wrong with their vehicle.
I think it's a great tip, and if you think about the fact that you're actually sitting up in the truck, you're at a higher vantage point, you can see what's going on, you can be surveilling what's happening or maybe taking place, and it helps keep you safe in there. So that is a great tip for you. One of the other things that happens to our drivers is, you know, our freight is moving constantly 24 hours a day, and there are times where drivers pull into lots, and in those lots, maybe a car pulls up to them, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and you start to get the sense that something isn't right, or you notice that there's someone driving back and forth several times. What would you advise our drivers to do to protect themselves and to keep themselves safe?
Again, being on the road for a living, you expose yourself to more possibilities. And again, we've all had it. You're in a parking lot, here's a person walking towards you, they're not in a vehicle, they don't have a vehicle anywhere around, or it's a suspicious vehicle driving around. One, again, that awareness component has to be there. You've just got to be aware of what's going on around you. Then we can start making those good decisions. What are some of the good decisions? One, I want to be asking myself, what is that vehicle doing? What does it look like they're doing? What's my feeling about it? Because that means I'm staying in tune, and I'm asking, I'm filtering, making more questions in my mind that I'm not making the person answer, but their actions answer for me. Does it fit what's going on? As they approach, again, try and talk to people from farther away. Don't wait until they're right in front of you. If you can do that, because now they want to get close to you, but if you engage them from farther away, hey, how's it going? Can I help you? A lot of times now they're having to give you answers before they're ready, and that's really what's going to start giving you those telltale signs of that bad behavior that we're looking for.
Great tips for us. You know, what I would always say to you is this: is no load, nothing inside the trailer is more important than your life. And so we always want you to err on the side of caution. Call 911, call the police. We want to make sure that you're safe and that you're taken care of. And of course, one of our tips that we've given for years is to make sure that the trailer is backed up against something solid. It honestly deters people from thinking the fact that I can get in the back of that trailer and see what's in there and steal what is inside. So back up to a solid structure, back up to light poles, anything that allows those back doors not to be open. On our trailers, there's not side doors, so it protects that. And you know, I think often criminals just look for the easy way in. And so if that isn't available, that keeps those folks going. And so that's why we do that. Obviously, parking in well-lit areas as well are all things that help deter those individuals that are out there. Well, Mark, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming out today, spending a few minutes to talk and give us some tips that will help our drivers stay safe. You're our most important asset, and we value you guys very much. So make sure you keep yourself safe. Think about these things we've shared today, and keep on trucking.